Today I wanted to talk about a story that I had seen on Facebook, and a big shout out to Todd Harrison for sharing it and for letting me steal it from him. And the reason I wanted to talk about this story is because it kind of goes along with the video that I made yesterday. And I think it's going to help me explain what I was trying to explain yesterday a little bit better as well too. So just what is that story? It's about these two frogs who were trapped in a well, and they'd been trapped in a well most of their life, and I think they're probably in the well as tadpoles as well, but the water level of that well was kind of low, so there was a few rocks that were in the bottom of it, and these frogs were able to sit on these two rocks. So there was two frogs in the bottom of a well that had two rocks that were kind of they were big enough to where the frogs could stand on the rocks. And the whole time that these two frogs were in this well on these rocks, to amuse themselves and to keep the to have fun, they would jump from the rock to the wall, back to the rock. So that was all the fun that basically they had, was jumping from the wall to the rock and back and forth. Well, one day there was a farmer, and he decided that he wanted to get some water from that well, so he took a bucket and he lowered it into the well. Well, one of the frogs that was in the bottom of the well decided that he was going to jump in the bucket. He had never seen a bucket, was unsure of what it was, so he decided to jump in the bucket because he was tired of being in that well for the rest of his life. Well, once the farmer pulled that bucket out of the well, the frog jumped out of the bucket, and he was amazed at all the things that he saw, the grass, the trees, all the other animals, the farmers, equipment and stuff that was on the farm, crops that were growing, and also all the flies that were flying around, and mosquitoes and stuff like that, because in the well, all the frogs had to eat was little crickets and stuff that had mistakenly jumped into the well. So this frog that had gotten out was amazed, and he wanted to get back in and tell the other frog that was still in the well, because the other frog didn't want to take that chance of getting in the bucket because he didn't know where that bucket was going to lead him to. So, a few weeks passed by, and the frog that had got out saw the farmer heading back to the well with that same bucket again. So as the farmer was about to lower the bucket into that well, that frog that had escaped jumped into that bucket. Well, when the bucket had gotten back to the bottom, the other frog was still in there, and the other frog that had got out was talking to the frog that was still in there, telling him about all the amazing things that he had seen when he had got out of the well. Well, the other frog told him that there was no way that any of that was possible, and that he was lying. So, by that time, the farmer was, already starting to pull that bucket out of the well. So the frog that had escaped jumped up into the bucket before it had gotten too far for the frog to get back in it. And you see, the moral of that story is that, a lot of people are kind of comfortable with where they're at, and they don't want to accept new things because they don't want to admit that they were wrong with the choices that they've made in their lives. And I think a lot of people, are kind of like that when they hear some, amazing story about somebody making a bunch of money online, or an amazing story of how this person won $100,000. They don't believe it because they've gotten comfortable with where they're at. They've gotten comfortable in that well, and they refuse to believe that they've been living their life wrong. So if you found any value in that story, please share it. Also, let me know what you think about it. Also, if you watched the previous video from yesterday that I really wasn't going to upload, please let me know what you think about that one as well too, because I kind of was hesitant on posting it. So that's all I have for today, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.